Hey guys, Eric here at Comic-Con. I'm with a trio, three of the 100. Well, you might not be on camera, but you're a very integral portion of the 100.
Part of it.
Very important.
Right. Jason, Eliza, Lindsey, welcome.
Hi.
I love this show, and you guys left on one hell of a cliffhanger. So let's jump right into that. We have a very stark, kind of spooky white room.
Yeah.
What can you say where we're going to go when we pick up with this?
Well, it's safe to say we start right where we left off.
Okay.
In that white room. The teaser of the first episode picks up right where we left off. And some people here in San Diego will get to see that today, actually. And then I think it's probably also safe to say that you would not be able to guess at what Mount Weather ultimately is. I mean, it's very different than anything we've seen so far in the show. Obviously, there were some hints. The painting on the wall is a hint. The guys with the laser scopes were a hint. So, but it really is a new environment, a new world. It's almost like I was saying earlier, it's almost like doing a pilot again, because we're really setting an entirely new sort of ball in motion,
Yeah.
Eliza, what can you say about Clarke? She's obviously a very strong-willed, smart, clever person, but she is now in quite a predicament. She's kind of by herself. Monty's across the hall at least.
Yeah.
But how's
we know that.
Yeah, how's she dealing with all this?
I think this is a really tough situation for her to be in. She's obviously gone from sort of being a prisoner in the very first episode of season 1 to becoming a leader and a very good one, and that is how the only way she knows herself. And suddenly she is put back in this situation where she has no control, and it's really hard for her. So you're going to see her fight back, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's actually a theme this season. The idea that these kids were in control of their own fate, of their own destiny last year, and now suddenly, the Ark is on the ground. There are survivors from that landing, obviously, and they're going to try to do what grown-ups do, which is to take control, and may even cast negative light on the way that the 100 handled it last year. And so that'll be a big sort of push-pull going forward.
Yeah.
Now, Lindsey, Raven, there's a lot of characters in duress and in a bad state when we left off last season. Your character, she's not as healthy as she might be. What can you say about the fate of Raven? You're standing here in front of us promoting the show, so I'm hoping...
Standing here, it says something.
Right, yes.
Maybe she was just so good last year that we wanted to, send her off with a bang.
Maybe. Yeah, but I mean, as you can tell with the show, even me standing here, there's still so much in store, and there's so much surprises. My deer's attacking me. So much surprises, so nothing is of certain. But yeah, Raven's in a bad place right now. But it just and I think that's really interesting for her to be physically wounded, because she is such a physical character. And so it's kind of like, I think it's very similar to Clarke's predicament, like Clarke's caged where she was a leader, and Raven used to be, very in control of herself and her body, and now she's wounded. So that's, her body has become her cage. Mm-hmm. So she goes through some mental blockades in the beginning.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, Jason, you mentioned kind of really revamping the show this season always, which I wondered about because, the Ark is out of the picture.
Yeah.
We still have one character up there.
It's not totally out of the picture.
Not
yes.
out of the picture. So I am curious about that character.
Oh, Jaha.
Jaha out!
Yeah, I mean, I will miss the space element of the show. I'm a huge sci-fi fan. And that was one of the things for me that always made this show unique, was the idea that we were playing in both of those worlds. We had this claustrophobic, dying spaceship in this wide open, exciting, wild world, and now we don't have that spaceship. But we do have Mount Weather, and Mount Weather will sort of aesthetically in many ways and energetically certainly sort of function similarly this year for us. So we'll have that to cut to. We're going to tell story there. We're going to really make the most of it, and we'll be able to sort of maintain that jumping back and forth thing that I think we did really well last year.
For you guys as actors, I remember talking to you season 1 about how it was a funny element of the show that there was this half the cast you're not really working with, sometimes in flashbacks. But is that interesting? I'm expecting at some point you're going to meet up, with these characters that have now crashed on the planet. Is that exciting for you to get to see those characters interact again?
It's an exciting thought, definitely. I don't know if, how far into the series we're going to see any reunions, but I mean, yeah, that was a strange element of shooting the show last year, and bringing those these characters together, I think, is going to be strange and interesting because there are honestly main casts that I've never worked with before.
Well, and that's a fun thing for us as writers too, because we now know what everybody can do, and we're thinking like, well, wouldn't it be cool to see Kane with Bellamy? You know, that's something we've never seen before, and so we get to do that this year in really fun ways and see how it works. I mean, see what that chemistry is like, and so far, I saw dailies from some stuff this morning. Actually, I can't tell you who's in the scenes because it would be spoilery, but. It's exciting for us to see those
There'll be an Eliza scenes.
Yeah.
So you know.
All right. You know, Raven, as you mentioned, you know, she's very skilled. She's a mechanic. Hopefully, assuming, you know, she gets better, you know, might you be curious to see what role she can play now with maybe some new tools to work with? There is a crash ship. There's also some new technology in this mysterious white room, and what, you know, she's been able to MacGyver some stuff.
Just a bit here and there.
Yeah. Are you enjoying that aspect of the character? You're curious to see what she could do next?
Oh God, yes. I love the idea of being someone, again, getting to play someone so much smarter than myself, and just being like, yeah, oh, you wanna bomb, bam.
Yeah.
So that's great. But
we gave Lindsey a tool last year
so
to make her. We wanted her to sleep with it, to eat with it, to play with it, so that it would feel
like my
natural in
second
her
hand,
hands. So.
basically, yeah. Definitely. But like you said, the art coming down, this new white room, I mean, the new technology is basically a Christmas morning to a character like Raven. So, I mean, you're going to have to see what Jason thinks about that and what we can come up with for that. But hopefully something great.
Well, what's exciting for her character, and she already touched on it, is and the way that we approach violence in the show is, you know, it always has ramifications, and it's not like she's going to be dancing anytime soon. You know, she got shot with a high-powered rifle bullet, and it's, you know, in her spine, and so that's going to wreak havoc for her for a while. You know, it'll be a while before she's back to like her body. She can fix anything, like she said, but she can't fix herself, and that's going to be frustrating.
You've had a lot of fun introducing these different factions on the ground with, you know, leading at least 3 that I can think of right now. So can you talk about how they are coexisting, not coexisting this season, and if there might even be more out there?
Sure. I mean, there are more, and we will meet some of them pretty quickly in the season, actually. And yeah, we're going to explore the Reapers and the Mountain Men and the Grounders and what the connections are, and, you know, who came first and who believes that they have a right to the land. And you know, the 100, when they dropped into the middle of this ongoing struggle for this really special patch of the world. Much of the world is still, you know, uninhabitable wasteland. And so that's why they're fighting so hard for this little Eden. And so, yeah, we will understand all of those relationships, and they're really, and the way really that the 100 and then the people from the Ark screw it all up. I mean, they came in and upended the chessboard, you know.
Right.
So.
You know, for you guys shooting, this looks like a very physical show. You know, you're out there. A lot of times you're not don't have the comfort of sound stages even. What was it like making the show and dealing with, you know, Vancouver, where it's like, hey, it's gonna rain when it's gonna rain and all that throws at you?
It's actually really lovely, to be honest. Like, yeah, we worked some really, really cold nights, and we were in the mud and rain and long hours, but I kind of prefer that to being in a studio. You can get sleepy in a studio,
right.
And like being out in the elements, you definitely feel more at one with your situation, and it keeps you awake. The cold keeps you awake. So it's good.
Totally agree with Eliza, but I mean, you know, you really feel like you're in it, and like our makeup and hair department are so great, but they cover us in fake blood and dirt and like make your hair all swampy, and you feel like I'm a survivor.
Yeah, totally.
I got a bit of frostbite last season,
really?
just in my thumb, in my fingers, but you know.
She actually lost a finger.
This is all CGI.
Looks great. It really
I got it to go
very
mobile.
convincing. Yeah.
But I mean, it's great because it's like, you know, being in studio, it can be kind of claustrophobic and cagey, but being outside in the elements, getting to breathe the fresh air, and getting to go through the shit or the stuff you would have to go through if you were surviving on the ground, you know, I definitely realized how much I took my bed for granted and like a hairbrush for granted. Yeah. So I think it really brings our show alive.
Guys, before I let you go, anything else you want to tease? Any hints you want to give at something exciting that might be coming up?
You know, I would say not. I mean, we're gonna
Clarke and Raven get
We're not
married.
trying to be
Okay,
deliberately.
that's gonna be very exciting.
It's a beautiful
We honeymoon in
relationship.
Costa Rica.
Oh wow,
That's,
okay.
that's the fantasy episode.
right.
You
The
know, we're not
musical
trying to be
episode.
deliberately cagey, but also, you know, we just want people to enjoy the experience, and so that's why we guard spoilers. It's not like, oh, we're trying to be clever, or oh, we're trying
Yeah.
to be cute. We just want the experience to be as as it's intended to be. We want the holy shit moment when someone dies or when someone's alive, and you know, so that's why we tend to not answer
being
questions very
tight-lipped.
much about
But
season two,
the
sorry.
wait is worth it.
Wait is worth it.
Wait is worth
What
it.
date are you returning? October
22nd.
22nd.
Okay, 22nd. Okay.
And we're hoping for another amazing. We got an amazing review. He gives us
There
a
it is.
good, amazing,
Yes.
great. We were great all season. I kept saying, "What does it take to get it amazing?" And we got an amazing for the finale.
Pressure's on. The pressure's on.
I felt very vindicated.
You got my fruit basket. Great.
Oh yes, yeah,
Great.
absolutely, absolutely.
Was that all it
Excellent.
took?
That's all it took. Duh, Jason.
The 100 is back, season 2 on October 22nd. We'll have plenty more on that show. We'll have plenty more from Comic-Con coming up. Thanks, guys. Keep it locked here at IGN.
Thank you.